I gained back 80 pounds the first time I lost weight. Most men who've lost weight before have also gained it back. Every pound and sometimes more. And the problem wasn't effort or discipline. It was the fact they had no exit strategy. My name is Adam. I've helped over 200 men lose fat and keep it off. If I had to start over, this is exactly how I'd lose 30 pounds or even 50 pounds and actually keep it off. So first I want to tell you about my client, Dan. He's 44, works in finance and has 2 kids. He came to me having lost 29 pounds on his own. He had tracked all his meals, he hit his daily protein targets and was strength training 4 times a week. Within 4 months of stopping, he had put back on 35 pounds. That's more than he'd lost. But Dan was convinced he was doing everything right. And to be honest, he had. That was the thing. The diet worked. But the problem was that the moment he stopped, he wasn't prepared. His body had spent months adapting to the deficit. His hunger was through the roof and so were his cravings. He went back to eating normally, but the problem was his normal was what got him there in the first place. Dan isn't unusual and this is a standard outcome. Men lose the weight, go back to normal and regain it. The diet industry makes a lot of money off that cycle, but I'd rather you understood it well enough so you could keep it off. The issue is most men start a fat loss phase one of 2 ways. They pick a calorie target from an app, drop it immediately, and see what happens. When it stalls, they drop it further. Or they just fast and restrict food. When their weight loss slows down, they fast for longer. I tell most of you to track calories, so let's talk about that first. So most men will track their calories, then Thursday comes around. They eat out. Don't bother guessing and just completely write off that day. Then get a lot more flexible from Thursday to Sunday. Then Monday morning, they wake up, weigh themselves, find out they weigh the same as they did a few weeks ago. So then they cut their calories even more. Suddenly, they're getting the side effects much sooner, the side effects of a more aggressive deficit. Then they end up barely making it to Friday and just massively overeating at the weekend. Then they try to compensate with even more exercise because there's no way they could eat even less. Their conclusion? Calorie tracking does not work for them. Now they have watched another YouTube video and that tells them they need to fast. So they fast. See the scale drop really fast, like the weight just comes off, but then it slows. Then they increase their fasting. They lose most of their fat, but they're not happy with the way they look and they eat normal again. You can guess what happens next. And the solution may sound as easy as just setting an appropriate deficit and sticking to that. I like to raise awareness first. I spend 1 week just observing. I get my clients to keep a food log of everything they're eating and drinking. They take photos so I can see how they structure their meals. I encourage them to go with what they would if I wasn't watching, if they weren't like, okay, so say if they were trying to lose fat on their own, what they would intuitively go for. Every single client loses weight here, and I get a good idea of the foods they like to eat. Now they have more awareness, and I can set their calories and make some quick, easy swaps for them. The biggest thing I find here is they're just way off with protein. So we aim for the calorie target and the protein target, nothing else. We don't complicate it at this stage. Let's face it, most people quit because they're too hungry. All they think about is food and the trade-off doesn't feel worth it. I mean, what, you're gonna lose 2 to 3 pounds a week and just be hungry all the time? It's not really a good trade-off, right? So then they park fat loss for now and tell themselves they'll start again when things get less busy. But what most men don't realize is it doesn't have to be this way. Sure, like a 4 or a 5 out of 10 in terms of hunger is perfectly normal. It's a sign you're losing fat. Anything more is unnecessary in my opinion. After protein, your biggest lever here is fiber. High fiber foods will give you more food, slow digestion, and actually expand in your stomach. Now you're significantly fuller from the same calories. I want you to aim for 30 to 40 grams of fiber per day. But if you're currently hitting around 20 grams, build it up by adding 5 grams a week. And some of my favorite foods are, well, high fiber foods: beans, lentils, oats, pears, green beans, and potatoes. But you can get my full list, over 20 high fiber foods, for free below. So I used to think cardio was for fat loss and strength training was for building. You focused on strength training after you had lost all your fat. So I used to run for 45 to 60 minutes every single day. And I didn't realize I was losing muscle alongside the fat. But this is one of the main reasons I regained 80 pounds as fast as I lost it. And it's one of the worst mistakes you can make. So let's be realistic. How many days can you actually dedicate to strength training? Because it needs to be prioritized. It's not an option if you want to keep the fat off. You need to at the very least, maintain the muscle you have. That will help you regulate hunger, burn more calories at rest and while you train. But most of all, be happy with the progress you made. 2 to 4 strength training sessions a week focused on progression. You want to be adding weight or reps like most weeks, but at least maintaining your strength as you get close to your fat loss goal. You want it to be challenging enough, like for yourself, every single time you go in. Train with intention and intensity. Okay, so you need to be prepared for the scale to just stop moving. Sometimes for as long as 2 weeks, and sometimes even longer. This is a reality of every single fat loss journey. If someone tells you otherwise, they're lying. But most men take this as evidence that something just wrong with them specifically, and it isn't. When you eat less, your body adapts and your metabolic rate drops a bit more than your weight loss alone would explain. Daily movement decreases without you even noticing. You're suddenly a bit less restless. You walk a bit less and your hunger increases. These aren't signs you're broken. They're just signs your body is responding to the perceived shortage of food. But the first thing I do with a client is take their waist measurement. Or I ask them to take their waist measurement. I review it. If it's down over the course of the 2 weeks, we stay put. But if their waist measurement hasn't moved, but the pictures look like they've improved and strength is up, we also hold. Then again, if there's no progress with their weekly average weight, waist measurement, and pictures, I ask them to tighten their tracking for a week. Not because I think they're lying, but because it's easy to overestimate what you're eating, especially when hunger's through the roof. Think of oils, sauces, and things that just don't get logged all the time. A week of careful tracking usually finds the gap. But if they're tracking tight already, but nothing's moving, we have 2 options. Trim calories by a further 5% for another 2 to 3 weeks and see what happens. But if you're deep into a cut and fatigued, calories are already lower than they need to be, or as low as they should be, we may need to take a diet break, which is where you spend a week at maintenance calories, maybe even 2 weeks. Doing more exercise or dropping another 500 calories is not the right answer, because what's going to happen is you're already fatigued. This is just going to make matters worse and increase your chance of losing muscle. And this is where Dan went wrong the first time. The diet ends and you've hit your target. You go back to eating normally, and within weeks, the weight starts coming back. Your metabolism is running slightly slower than it did before the diet, and your hunger hormones are through the roof. Your body is primed to restore what it lost. And you've just removed the only structure that was holding everything in place. The answer isn't to diet indefinitely. Some people think it is. It's to come out the deficit deliberately, eating the exact same foods that got you there with the exact same habits. Of course, you're eating more food. You're eating a predicted maintenance, but it's more of the same filling foods. Your steps are still up and your training is improving. Your sleep improves. You have more energy. You feel better about everything, and you're eating a lot more food. After 2 to 4 weeks, you can start being a bit more flexible. maybe 20% of the time you're eating what you want, and at least trying to structure your day around it so it's planned. It's not interesting, but it's what determines whether any of this was worth doing. And Dan went through this properly the second time, lost over 30 pounds in 6 months. That was 2 years ago. And he's kept it off, not because he's still dieting, but because he spent the time to let that weight become his actual baseline rather than declaring victory and just walking away. The diet ending isn't the finish line, but it's the part that decides whether the whole thing sticks. And this is exactly what I'd do to lose 30 pounds. Even if I had to lose 80 pounds, I'd do the same thing. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and watch this one next. I'll see you there.